Hi everyone. Today we would like to discuss about how to create GL account in S for HANA. Initially, we will sign into log into SAP on HANA by giving the user ID and password /n fs00. We can create GL account by going to this T code. Here, I want to create one expense account. If you observe here, this is to create button. This is like display. To edit, you have to edit. If you want to change or edit, you can change already existing GL account. This is copy, this is block, and this is about to delete. And if you want to change the company code, you can click here and you can change the company code and update. And if you look into this, we are in the company code SRJ. Already I have created some GL accounts. Like these are the GL accounts I have created. I want to create a new GL account for expenses. So what I have to do is like just select it and copy, and you have to follow the or number sequence that 3000 you are copying from 3000, no? So you have to copy 3007 and click here. Already exist means like I want to create a new GL account. I want to create 3008 as a GL account. If you see here, already GL account is 3008, company code is SRJ. If you go, there are the four to five tabs are there. One is like, if you observe here, GL account type, you select. These are the types was provided by as per HANA. If you observe one by one, it's non-operating expenses or income. So second one is, first one is N, non-operating expenses or income. Second one is P, primary cost or revenue. S, secondary costs, and X is balance sheet. These are the five GL account types was predefined by SAP in S4HANA. So I will go for this primary cost and revenue. Account group, expenses. What is meant by primary cost and revenue? Primary cost or revenue means it will going to profit and loss account. So I want to create staff welfare, staff welfare account. Control C. You can copy over here. This is restricted to 20 characters only. Long text is like you can type for the 40 characters. If you go for the controlling tab, account local account currency is INR. This is sort key 001. Create bank interest. Here you have to go G01. You can save it. The cost element category is not specified. You want to lock the GL account. Here it's telling that you have to specify the cost. You go for the control tab. Here is like, if you see, the cost element category is mandated. While compared to the ECC, I will show the ECC once. If you go for the ECC server, if you want to create here same GL account, for example, if you want to create a GL account, same, just create it and give the number 3006. If you observe here, type and description, control data, create bank and interest, keyword and translation. This is the only account group is there. Account group. In which account group you have to create these expenses. You have to mention here expenses. And coming to this balance sheet, profit and loss statement and balance sheet account is there. Whereas like in if you go for S for HANA, if you observe type and description, GL account type is there. So account group is different. So if you observe the difference, here we are creating the as a primary cost as GL account or non-operating expenses or income, secondary cost, balance sheet. Here we will be creating like this. So if you observe in ECC description part, long text and short text is there. This is the difference you can observe. So if you go to the control tab, INR, and if you see, if you observe this accounting controlling company code and account management company code, it will be coming like if you go for the create bank interest, it's very common to ECC and S4HANA. Coming to the S4HANA, if you observe, S4HANA, if you go for the control tab, there is additional tab, account settings in controlling area for company code. Element you should select as 01, primary cost minus reducing revenue. Likewise, if you can see here, the most of the cases we will use primary cost or cost reducing revenues for expenses. If we go for any creation of GL account for revenue, you will be using this 11. The 01 for primary cost reducing revenues, and 11 is for revenues. So we will use for expenses 01 and you can save it. Staff welfare account GLS created. And what do you mean by these GL account types? They are like predefined cash account is there, non-operating expenses or income is there, primary cost or revenue is there, secondary cost is there, balance sheet is there. Earlier we used to look into the ECC balance sheet and primary profit and loss account. If you observe, these are the account group and they have mentioned two only, profit and loss account and balance sheet. As you know that all the profit and loss accounts comes under expenses and incomes, and balance sheet is liabilities and assets. If you come here for as for HANA, just if you observe, GL account type is like they have provided five GL types. Within that, we have to select. Primary cost or revenue is completely about P&L accounts. Like if you want to book the expenses or revenues, we can book with this GL account type. And coming to this cash account, you can go directly click the cash account, and in account group you can give the assets. And whereas like if you go with this secondary cost, what do you mean by secondary cost? We will see here. As explained here, like a GL account type is I given here like for example, travel expenses GL is there, admin is there, cost center. For suppose $1,000 we are putting into that account. So admin is the cost center, it is the CO part, HR is the cost center CO part. We will be splitting 500 to this each and department. So balance sheet, what is balance sheet, or why we have to take under the balance sheet? All GL accounts which are balance sheet account will be used this account type like assets and liabilities. Whereas primary cost or revenue, P&L, GL, for which we want to transfer the values from FI to CO, the flow will flow from FI to CO. And secondary cost, any adjustment within CO without impacting the FI. See, in adjustments of CO controlling, we will use the secondary cost. And non-operating expenses or income, any posting within FI without impacting CO is called non-operating expenses. What do you mean by non-operating expenses? Investments are examples of non-operating income because they don't directly generate the profit for the company. Instead, they provide an income stream that can increase the company's market value and finally stability. These are the example: interest expenses, obsolete inventory charges. These are the examples. If you look into this, you can create a GL account like this in ECC compared to the S for HANA. These are the differences you have to notice, and you have to go with this. If you want to edit anything for this GL account, you can go and edit here, and you can view the long test and short test over here. So this is about the GL account creation in S for HANA.